Stanza by stanza explanation of English. Class 5. Chapter, My Shadow. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me. And what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me, from the heels up to the head. And I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. In the above stanza, the poet says that he has a little shadow that keeps following him wherever he goes. At the same time, the poet also wonders, what is the use of shadow? The shadow's appearance is just like the poet, from toe to head. The poet also observes that his shadow goes to bed before him. He is fascinated by the shadow and very curious to know more about him. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow, not at all like proper children, which is always very slow. For he sometimes shoots up taller like an India rubber ball, and he sometimes gets so little that there's none of him at all. In this stanza, the poet is curious to observe how the shadow keeps changing his shape. The poet finds it funny. He compares his shadow with other children and says that he does not behave like them. Other children are generally slow in everything, but the shadow is way faster than them in changing forms. The poet observes that sometimes the shadow becomes taller than him, like a huge rubber ball, and sometimes he becomes very small. One morning, very early, before the sun, I was up. I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup. But my lazy little shadow, like an errant sleepyhead, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. In the last stanza, the poet says that one day he woke up early morning, before the sunrise. He went out to see the flowers and he found morning dew on each petal, but he did not find his shadow behind. The poet calls his shadow lazy because he thought that he was still sleeping. The fact is, shadows are formed when sunlight falls on your body. Since the sun did not rise still when the poet woke up, he did not find the shadow. The poet was confused and wondered why his shadow did not wake up when he went to bed at night before the poet. The poet thinks that the shadow plays tricks with him all the time. Conclusion. The poem tells the readers that children are so naive and innocent. Their imaginations and observations are wide and full of curiosity. You can find notes and online tests of this chapter on the EduRev app. Also, you will get such videos, notes and tests for all the chapters of English Class 5 on the EduRev app. Go ahead and subscribe for EduRev Infinity Plan now.